Hi everyone, my name is Kasia. Thank you so much for joining me today, and today I have a project update video for you. It's been around a month since my last project update and I have a few things I'd like to discuss. I have some finished objects, I have some works in progress, but I also have some failures that I would like to discuss with you. So let's start with what I'm wearing. And I am I'm wearing a vest that I have test knit a couple of years ago for a Polish designer. Her handle is Home of Quartz, and the vest is called Soft Embrace. And it has this simple eyelet lace pattern that is split around the v-neck. 1 second, the cat is trying to get in. And in the back, it has a fun detail of the lace being split to mimic what we have in the front. It's done in fingering weight yarn. I used some merino and silk mix. I used 2 skeins of fingering weight yarn, 400 meters to 100 grams. Hey! No, cześć. Okay, so I will have to keep petting the cat and talking to you. Hope you don't mind. Sorry for all the fluff cat hair flying around. But what was I talking about? Yeah, the vest. It's a very lightweight. I'm thinking about making a summer version. The only thing that I'm not really fond of is the fact that it's done bottom up. And the version that I have on right now, it's a bit long because I took care of the stitch gauge, but not exactly the row gauge. And yeah, if I wanted to make a summer version, I would need to take that into account. Let's talk about my finished objects, and I don't have majority of them with me, but they are so cute. I will be putting photos here. And the cat is back. And the first 2 objects are baby things. So I have made this Kili bonnet and flax worsted in a baby size toddler for a friend who has little girl, and it's so freaking cute. I thought it will be a perfect pairing for the Easter time. I have already gifted the set to her, and unfortunately the bonnet is too small, so I'll be making another one and gifting it to her as soon as possible. But it's still so cute. I really liked making it and it went so quickly, and I love the yarn combination that I used because it's 2 types of brushed alpaca, Suri from Lanagato, and brushed silk alpaca from Drops, and a lace of lamb's wool yarn. And the bonnet and the sweater are so soft, so comfy, so I hope that once I'll make another bigger version of the bonnet, the baby will be really comfy in that. I have 1 adult finished object, and this is something for myself, and this is something that you have not seen at all. Yes, I have talked about this one in my spring knitting plans because I just got into a test knit then, but I have not spoken about it in my podcast episode. And so what I'm talking about is, it's so difficult to show. It's a pair of shorts and it looks more like a skirt. It's so flattering. Honestly, the fit is amazing. So I'll be putting up photos, but this is Shimmy Shorts by Maya Deglon, and the pattern is in testing. I think Maya plans to release it somewhere in May, which will be perfect time for such shorts. Honestly, it looks like a skirt. So Shimmy Shorts is kind of a sister pattern to a skirt that Maya released a couple of years ago. The skirt is called Skater Skirt, and it's basically the skater style skirt with high flare, and the same is happening for the shorts. So as you can see, there is a lot of volume here. Like this is half of the pants. You start with Judy's Magic Cast On to cast on the stitches for the waistband. You knit the waistband in 1x1 ribbing, and then you close the waistband by knitting the 2 sets of stitches together. At the same time, you can enclose elastic in the waistband, or you can leave a hole as I did, to put the elastic after finishing the pants. And then you basically do stockinette with some strategically placed increases. And as you hopefully can see, there is this small detail where the increases are being done. There is also a slipped stitch detail that really accentuates how flary and flowy the pants are. I really like it. There is a number of short row sections that you can do for the pants in case you have a lot of butt. You can do some short rows in the back, and actually Maya gives you instructions on how to Maya gives you instructions on how to do it in 3 ways depending on how much of fabric you need. And then you're doing some short rows at the very bottom of the pants after after splitting for 2 legs. There is this piece of fabric that is the gusset, and after doing the gusset, basically you're splitting for the legs and doing some short rows. I did 1 set of short rows at the top of the pants, and I'm honestly I should have done more. I should have done all of them, because it turns out I have a lot of butt, and the front is longer for me than the back. I would need more fabric in the back, but I was afraid of overdoing it because Maya says that it may look like a diaper if you do too much. But yeah, I should have trusted the measurements. And do all of them. But I think I will make another pair, and I will do all of the short row sets in that pair. The yarn that I used is Holst Garn Coast, which is a blend of cotton and merino. I think it's merino. No, maybe I think it's lamb's wool and merino. It's almost 50-50. And this yarn is like very light fingering weight, and the pattern is DK. So I held 2 strands together to achieve the gauge, and I really like the fabric. It's a bit see-through. I'm not sure if that's, yeah, you can probably see my face through it, but when it's on the body, it's really nice and it does not reveal too much. I really like this yarn. It's very pleasant to work with, and I think now I need to make a matching top. So that's my first and only adult finished object. Yes. So before we talk about my works in progress, I would like to quickly go through some fails. And unfortunately, I had been failing a lot recently, and my first fail is my poppy tee that I wanted to make into a long sleeve. I still have not frogged this one, but I'm pretty sure I will, because it's just too big. What I wanted for this sweater is to be kind of form-fitting, And once I did more of the body, I am even not sure at what point I was in the last episode. I think I had like maybe half of the body done. But after doing more of it and trying it on, it turns out that it's huge. Like it would be fine for an oversized sweater, like very oversized, but because of the shaping for the sleeves, it's not a dropped shoulder, so it is obviously too big on me. And I've been going back and forth whether I want to finish it or maybe add a sleeve and decide then. But honestly, this is not something that I wanted for this sweater, so I will frog it. And I think I will restart it in a smaller size. I'm using Raumagarn Finul for this one. And I think gauge is fine. The stitches are a bit uneven, but I hope that this will be resolved in blocking, so I don't plan on changing the needle size. I will go a size or maybe even 2 sizes down, and hopefully that will result in a better fit. Still like the pattern, just not necessarily the size. So this will be frogged. There's one more project that I'm thinking about frogging, and I came to that conclusion after recording the last episode. And this is something very fun, but I was going back and forth on this one as well. So what I'm talking about is my Cosmo Sweater Adult, patterned by Rust Knitwear. And yeah, I have shown you the mohair that I'm using, which is this really colorful pink and green and a bit of purple, but it's on a white base, and I'm pairing it with this very, very pink. And in theory, they look good together, but in practice, it's so muted. I'm disappointed with the fabric that I'm getting. The white is overpowering the really beautiful pink. So I am not yet 100% sure if I'll frog it, but what I'm planning to do is to try and make a gauge swatch with the mohair and some white base yarn. So instead of pairing it with pink, I will pair it with white and see what it will look like. And if white and this mohair is better than this, I will frog it and use the pink fingering weight yarn for something else. Maybe find like really intense pink mohair to pair with it, and then make something else with the mohair. Yeah, not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that even though the finished project finished project would be fine, it's just I'm not 100% happy with the fabric, and that's enough to frog it. I have 2 works in progress that I have been working on actively in the past few weeks, and let's start with something that you have already saw, kind of, but not really, because the first work in progress, which way? This way. Okay, so the first work in progress is my Vinca pullover. It's a pattern by Natalie Pellick, and as you can see, it's an all over Kate Bolt pullover, like very intense cabling. Maybe this way. Like, this is crazy, but amazing. And I have shown the first rendition of my version in the previous podcast episode. I was working on the back panel, still working on the increases, well, this trapezoid shape on the back. I was not yet done with the increases. And I said that it will be oversized, but probably fine. And it was not. When I finished the increases, I have done a few more centimeters on the back panel, and it was huge. Like, this one is oversized. So this one is oversized, my shoulders and here, and this will stretch out a lot because it's cable, so this will be oversized. And the other one was just enormous. I am working off gauge. I lost some stitches, so that's what I'm doing now. I am working off gauge, and I'm using the Rerum Naturalis yarn, which is a sport weight yarn, very lofty. And I was working on 3.25 millimeter needles, then making the second size available for the adult pattern. And it was just way too much. Like, it would give me around 50 centimeters of positive ease, and that was just too much. So I frogged it and recast it. This time I'm making the smallest size, so size 32. And I am using 2.75 millimeter needles to make this, the cables. So it's a lot of work, and I was crazy enough to say in my spring knitting plans that I hope to have it finished before Easter. That's not going to happen. I have just joined, well, not necessarily just, I have joined under the arms, and I have done, like, I don't know how much is it 5 centimeters, 6 centimeters, and this took me like 3 days. So there's no way I was delusional thinking that I could make it before Easter. If I make it by fall, it will be perfect, but it's so pretty, and I am still not bored with the pattern. I have it memorized. It's rather pleasurable to knit, apart from 2 rows. When you do, like, all of that is at most 2x2 cables, but there are a couple of rows in the pattern repeat when you're doing 2x1 knit versus purl cable, and that's a bit like, it's less nice to knit, but everything else is perfectly fine. It's just that it's a lot of stitches, a lot of work, and yeah, I think I need to, like, that's not even half of the torso total, like starting from the back. So still a lot of work ahead of me, so I'll be just chipping away at it. There's one more work in progress that I have been actively working on, and this is something that you have not seen yet, and I have not included that in my spring knitting plans because I honestly just forgot about it. It was in my plans in my head for a longer period of time, and this is my first Olga sweater, patterned by Petite Knit. Of course, everyone knows Olga, and I wanted to make it because Gabby, don't remember her podcast, but we'll put everything here as well as in the description box. And Gabby mentioned there is a call happening, so I wanted to take part in that. I never took part in any call knit along, so that's my first one, and I wanted to make Olga for a longer period of time. I'm kind of I wanted to work stripes for a longer period of time, and Olga being all stripes is so fun. So yeah, I casted that one on a couple of weeks ago, and I have already majority of the body done. I honestly think I need to try it on after recording the video and see how far off I am from doing the ribbing. And I have opted for doing a summer version, and the yarn that I'm using, do I have a ball? Nope, I have just remnants of the balls that I'm using, but the yarn that I'm using is Dropspell, which is again first time using Dropspell, and I'm honestly in love with that yarn. I have not worked with Drops Line, for which the Drops is a I need to try it out to compare on what is the feel of them, because the composition I think is almost exactly the same. It's cotton, viscose and linen, I think. And the Dropspell is much cheaper. But yeah, I'm very pleasantly surprised with the yarn. It's very nice to work with, at least at this gauge. It's very nice in touch, and it's not heavy. I was afraid that this being majority cotton, that it will be heavy and stretchy, but it seems to be fine. And I really like my stitches. I think they are very even before blocking. So yeah, very happy with this one. The colors will be on the screen, but I think the taupe one, it's called Zinc, and the peachy one, something like Desert Rose. I might be making that up. Both of them are a bit variegated, like heathered in look, which I think also adds to the beauty of the sweater. The design is very simple, and I think this will be a very nice summer sweater. I'm making size 4, I think. Not sure. Will be here. I will put the information about the knit along as well somewhere in the description box in case you want to join it. It has started in the beginning of March, so I think there's plenty of time to participate still. So there are some projects that I have been working on in the past which are now in hibernation, so I will not be talking about them. But yesterday or the day before that, when I was looking through my yarn stash, I was looking for yarn to do another version of the Kili bonnet for my friend's baby. I found a work in progress that I completely forgot about, and I am using this beautiful color of Drops Muscat, which is 100% mercerized cotton. I think it's DK, based on the gauge, 21 centimeters, 100 meters in 50 grams cane. This is a DK weight yarn. And I have realized that I have started, I don't remember when, but I have started with on a really short cord, but I am making apparently a ranunculus. Where is the front? And I think I have done 2 sets of short rows. So for ranunculus you have short rows both for the back and for the front, and I usually skip the ones on the front because I am not sure what their purpose is, but seems like I have done them both on the front and the back. And yeah, it looks as if I'm done with the lace. Yeah, I'm done with the lace. Somewhere here is the last row, and I have started doing the stockinette part and increases. And I have no idea when I started it what size I'm making, but the beauty of the ranunculus is that you start the same for all the sizes when it comes to the lacy yoke part, and then you work the rest of the yoke with raglan increases. I think that I will just figure out, looking at the fabric, what I was doing and continue doing the same. I definitely need to do a bit more of the increases, or maybe not that much. And once I hit the length that's better. Once I hit the length that is sufficient for my my arm length depth, I will split for body and sleeves. And I have 4 more balls of muscat. For this part I have used only one. No, I think I have used 2 balls already. So it will be definitely a short sleeve version. And then for the body we will see. But I really like this color, and I think this being a DK weight, so a bit more heavy of a fabric, it would be perfect to have for warmer spring days. So I'm glad I found it, because I'm picking it out of hibernation and will work on that. I'm doing it on 4.5 millimeter needles, so a bit larger than the suggested on the ball band, but the fabric looks okay. So that's everything I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. If you like this video, leave it a like and maybe a subscription, and hopefully see you in the next one. Bye!